Conor McGregor has suffered a complete and utter humiliation in his presidential campaign, where he now is peddling nonstop lies, acting like he's going to be on the ballot to become the president of Ireland. But that's not all. Amidst the failure of a presidential campaign that he's habitually lying about, which we're going to expose in this video, you have David Feldman and him claiming that his next fight will be in BKFC, and he's focused and he's training for his return to martial arts in the BKFC ring against potentially Mike Perry or Jeremy Stevens. There's a lot to break down. We're going to check out a press conference from David Feldman where he announces Conor McGregor's, I guess, debut in BKFC, and Conor McGregor co-signs it in the subsequent video, which we're going to check out. But I really want to get to the presidential campaign because it has been nothing more than a complete flop for Conor McGregor, and we're going to break it down in detail. Now, there's a lot of things I want to check out. The first thing I want to check out is Conor McGregor's new training footage, man. I know all the MMA YouTubers are like, man, Conor's looking sharp. Conor's looking sweet. There's been people breaking down Conor training footage for damn near 5 years now, okay? Let's check out some recent training footage from Conor McGregor. Yeah, man, he looks ready for BK. He looks ready for BKFC. He looks ready. By the way, I'm going to show you guys some training footage here shortly. And I gotta say, viewer discretion advised, okay? There should have been a lot of outrage about this, but there wasn't. But we're going to get to that in a second. Let's watch him looking like Chuck Liddell when he returned for the trilogy with Tito Ortiz. Look at this. Yeah, that's like, oh, man, look how fast that teep kick was. That was sick, man. Anyway, let's skip to the next footage because there should have been some outrage that we're going to get to here in a second. But this is Conor training in a gym in Italy, ready for BKFC, ready for the White House apparently as well. If this isn't the definition of touch butt in the park, I don't know what is. I really don't know what is. This is touch butt in the park. Conor essentially trains every once in a while. He posts the footage online. Everyone's like, yeah, man, Conor's going to return, man. Conor's going to look sick, man. He's going to be back in the cage. He's going to look like elite level prime Conor. He's never returning. He's never returning. He might return in BKFC, which we'll get to in a second. The next piece of footage, I don't know how this was buried. There should be complete and utter outrage and outcry. We need to get this man behind bars, okay? This is sparring footage of Conor McGregor sparring what appears to be like a 15-year-old. And Conor's getting his confidence by tagging this dude up. Watch this. You tell me how old that dude is. And Conor's just piecing him up. Attempted murder right there if I ever seen it. Lock this man up, put him in a cage. Lock him up. He already deserves to be locked up for other things. You know, at least he's not doing that. Otherwise, you see this guy's trousers on the floor. But anyway, let's continue. Conor is literally sparring teenagers to get his confidence back. That is what he's doing, and he's actually putting it on him. Now, this guy, I guess he said, you know what, I beat up that guy. Let me get like a 20-year-old now. Maybe that'll be more competition for me. And he starts tagging this guy. He takes a little bit lighter on this guy. But this is all for his return to BKFC.
1 minute gone.
Tags him with a big left hand. You know all the little MMA social media accounts. Oh, man, Conor's looking sharp here, brother. Anyway, you get the point. That's his new sparring footage that he's releasing. Now, I want to jump to the BKFC press conference because this is actually super notable because Conor doesn't show up to the press conference. Apparently, he's supposed to be there. David Feldman says a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense. And he announces Conor McGregor's training for his next fight, which will be one of these guys here. And he points to his left and right. And then Conor comes in with a message saying, yeah, the winner of this fight's aiming for a fight with the boss. So which is it? I want to know. Conor's saying he's fighting at the White House. He's saying he's fighting with BKFC. Which is it? But listen to this. You guys be the judge.
It's been we were supposed to have my partner, my friend, Conor McGregor, was going to be here today, but he couldn't make it at the last minute because he's actually very, very focused. It's the best Conor McGregor I've ever seen. He's training hard.
I just can't let that go. When I watched this the first time, I just couldn't let it go. Tell me how that makes any fucking sense. You guys listen to that again and tell me how this makes any sense. I would love to know.
Partner, my friend Conor McGregor was going to be here today, but he couldn't make it at the last minute because he's actually very, very focused. It's the best Conor McGregor I've ever seen. He's training hard.
So he couldn't make it last minute because he's focused, and it's the best Conor McGregor he's ever seen. How is that last minute? Like, he didn't have a death in the family. He didn't have a medical emergency. He doesn't have a pregnant wife. If he was, he'd be out graping up a storm instead. But how does that, like, he could have just said Conor couldn't make it today. But instead he's like, yeah, Conor couldn't make it last minute because he's focused. Like, when he woke up that morning and said, I'm focused today. But anyway, at the end of this, and I'm just going to rewind it a little bit so you get the full context. At the end of this, he announces Conor will be fighting the winner of this fight, which is Mike Perry versus Jeremy Stephens. Listen to this.
Be here today, but he couldn't make it at the last minute because he's actually very, very focused. It's the best Conor McGregor I've ever seen. He's training hard. He's focused because he said one of you two guys is probably his next fight. So we just want to send a message from Conor McGregor.
He's focused. He couldn't make it last minute because he's focused because one of you two guys are his next fight. Now, I have been saying habitually for years, repetitively for years, that I do not believe Conor will ever return. And people doubted me. It was a contrarian opinion at one point in time. But I have said I do believe eventually he will fight in BKFC. Now, Conor's been teasing fighting at the White House card. I have my doubts whether or not the White House card even happens, let alone Conor McGregor fighting on the White House card. But I do believe there is a significant chance that Conor fights in BKFC, and I've been saying this for years. If there is a sunset clause in Conor McGregor's contract, which that was inserted during the antitrust lawsuit, and based on the timing that Conor signed his contract, it is most likely there. It would mean 5 years from the time he signed that contract to when he's able to get out of the contract. Most likely the last time he signed a contract was around the Dustin Poirier first fight, or second fight, technically. That would be early 2026 that he'd be able to use that sunset clause like Francis Ngannou to get out of his deal. And I do believe he wants to fight in BKFC because what does BKFC have to offer Conor? First off, Conor McGregor is a part owner of BKFC. Second off, BKFC will give him the most optimal, winnable matchup. Third off, there will be no PED testing. I'm not sure the UFC is doing it anymore, to be quite honest, with Mr. 60 Minutes himself, George Piro. But it makes a whole lot of sense for Conor to go fight in BKFC and build the brand up that he is part owner in. But anyway, David Feldman sends it over to Conor McGregor with his message to the fans.
McGregor to kick this thing off.
What's up, everyone? The notorious Conor McGregor here, live from the beautiful Amalfi Coast. I want to give a shout out to my New Jersey Warriors, our bare knuckle familia, and our 4th Irish Scout Army. This October 4th, in the Prudential Center, 17,000-seater stadium, packed, we crown our King of Ireland's world champion in a bout against Mike Perry versus Jeremy Stephens. Both men angling for a fight against the boss. We expect a firecracker of a contest.
Both men angling for a fight against the boss. So they are really trying to subtly, but not really so subtly, promote a Conor McGregor versus Mike Perry or Jeremy Stephens fight for BKFC. Now, I don't know for what reasons they're doing that, if it's not actually going to pay off, but we've seen Conor McGregor make all these promises and then never actually fulfill them. And since he's stake owner in BKFC, it makes sense for him to try to use his name to build up the company. So he may very well fight one of those guys. I've been saying that for a long time. Now, will it be next year? I don't know. I think eventually Conor's going to start getting a little bit low on cash and want to fight in BKFC. But he's been saying for months now, he's going to return and fight at the White House. I mean, it's just talking out of both sides of his mouth. But I thought it was kind of notable that this really didn't even get a lot of press anymore. And you know why? Because people have been had so many times. Luckily, in the beginning of all this, I said, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Who told you boys that Conor was never going to fight Chandler? You had people harassing me saying, Joey, you're wrong. Chandler even messaged me and told me I was wrong and I was dumb. And what happened there? And even Dana White didn't even believe it. And somehow that clip didn't get a lot of traction either. Dana White saying he never believed Conor was going to fight Chandler last year in 2024. But now if they do fight, I guess they'll fight at the White House in 2026. Or maybe Chandler will get his wish and be able to fight Conor on his anniversary with his wife. That's what he's asking for. But anyway, I thought this was notable, but BKFC kind of running a fly-by-night company. I don't know if you guys saw this. The BKFC event was cut short after severe weather caused scaffolding to collapse. Footage shows people on the ground injured, raising concerns about whether outdoor events are truly safe. I'm not going to play this video for you, but man, this seems like a complete disaster. How did this not get more publicity? I mean, imagine the UFC did something like this, where they had a complete failure. There was people injured in these videos. So I really do believe BKFC needs to get their shit together. But who knows what's going on with David Feldman and Conor McGregor at the helm of BKFC. It's been doing okay so far. They've been putting on some decent events to get some decent traction, but we'll see. They can't even keep their scaffolding up for their outdoor events. Now, the next thing I want to jump into, because at the end of the day, there's only so much you can say about Conor McGregor and BKFC. He's been teasing fighting there for a while. I do believe, I'll say this, I'll wrap it up with this. I do believe Conor McGregor has a higher probability of fighting in BKFC in 2026 than he does fighting for the UFC. I think he's going to try to get out of his UFC contract. I think he's going to try to use his sunset clause, and I think he's going to leave and go right to BKFC, get on steroids, and fight the most ideal opponent, whether it be Jeremy Stephens or, Mike Perry or Michael Chandler. Maybe Michael Chandler be out of the UFC. That would be hilarious. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, BKFC 2026. I'm calling it now. Conor McGregor finally satisfies Michael Chandler's sweet tooth and gives him the fight in 2026, but it's going to be in BKFC because Chandler's on such a losing streak. Anyway, I do want to cover Conor McGregor's disastrous presidential campaign that I feel like a lot of people aren't keeping up with it too much, but I want to show to you guys. I've showed this clip in another video. This is about a 20-second clip of what Conor needs to even be on the ballot to run for president of Ireland. So listen to this very closely. This is what Conor needs to even run for president, to be on the ballot, to be even able to be voted for. Listen to this.
To enter the electoral octagon, Conor McGregor needs the backing of 20 members of the Irish Parliament. There are 234 in total across two houses, so we contacted them all. 134 got back to us, and of those, 0 said they would support a McGregor run. Not a hope in hell, said one cabinet minister. Others described McGregor as a tacky, moronic vulgarian and a populist buffoon. Couldn't think of anyone worse, said one, while another added, on behalf of the women of Ireland, he can f*** off. We asked Conor McGregor's spokesperson for a response. None has yet been received.
So he needs the backing of 20 people from the Irish government, and as of right now, he has 0. So what Conor tried to do is change the framework in which he could be nominated by starting a petition. This is where it gets real good, boys. To sign this petition is to give the person you wish to see in the race their chance, whether that is me or not. The grip of power the government elite have over Ireland must be changed. If you cannot see this and are not engaging in this petition, you must reevaluate your thinking. Sign, share, support the petition, and show the numbers that are behind the change in Ireland. The system is broke. Be a part of its change. Now, there was people initially when Conor announced he was going to run for president of Ireland were acting like he had a legitimate chance, which I told you guys it was a joke from the very beginning. But I want you guys to really hone in on this line. This is going to get good, boys. Sign, share, support this petition, and show the numbers that are behind the change in Ireland. Let's go check out that petition. Let the people decide. A petition to ensure that Conor McGregor's on the ballot. 16,329 votes. And I guarantee the majority of these votes are most likely American fans who like to support someone like Conor McGregor. And you can see the petition is, Conor McGregor hereby declare my intention to seek the esteemed office of the President of Ireland. The current constitutional framework, however, presents a significant barrier to democratic participation. He can't even get on the ballot because nobody supports him. He tried to start a petition to drum up interest in changing the framework, and he got 16,000 signatures. The petition to strip John Jones got like 15 times as many signatures as Conor got to change the framework of the Irish Constitution. And what's insane to me is I bet you less than 20 of these are from people in Ireland. Maybe, just maybe, his family, I guess. Probably not his wife. To be quite honest. I don't even think that. So he got a pathetic I mean, talk about a pathetic excuse of a petition. 16,000 signatures. But that doesn't stop Conor from lying about it, because we have this. Conor McGregor claims he secured the required number of parliamentary votes to officially run for Ireland's next president. The election is expected by November. And that's this tweet right here. I have it secured. I have the councils on board, TDs, senators. I even have the most prestigious party of them all. It is now about choosing my affiliation. Ireland's call will be answered. I am here for the will of the people only. Who aligns in support of the policies I have presented will be the saviors of our great nation. They will walk the streets of Ireland to applause. This is a lie. This is not true. Okay? And even basically says it's not true in a subsequent tweet that we're going to take a look at here in a second. But it's just insane to me that this is easily verifiable. He's offered no proof. This is August 27th. I'm recording this on September 5th. There is zero proof that he has secured anything to even be on the ballot. I think it would be funny if they let him on the ballot so he could get like 6 votes. That's about all he would get. I don't know what kind of people are going out to vote for a person who was found civilly liable of sexual assault. I don't know that many people, but you know, I found this pretty funny. Hold on. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let me go back to this. No, where is it at? Hold on. Never mind. It's at the tweet I'm about to show you in a second. But yeah, he claims to have secured just being on the ballot, let alone, he can't even get on the ballot, let alone actually win the race. There's a tweet that I found. I'm not sure who this guy is, but he really sums it up great. It's funny how deluded Conor McGregor is. Only 16,248 signed his petition to modify the nomination process in Ireland, and most of them are Americans. Now he's telling his followers that he's got the nomination, will be the next president. It's obviously a lie. The Irish hate him. Facts. He's not winning that, but he's telling people somehow he's got it. He's got the nomination to be on the ballot. And what I find particularly hilarious is he posted this video, and I'm not going to read this entire thing, but I want you to see this. Citizens of Ireland, the time for real change is now. And he says, if you want to see my name on the ballot for presidency, I urge you to contact your local county councilors today and ask them to nominate me. Well, I thought he already had it. This is September 4th. He posted he has secured it on August 27th. And he posted this video along with it, but I just want to highlight this. Conor, how does it feel? Remember that video of him coming out of the courthouse? Conor, how does it feel? You're a rapist now. How does it feel? Look at the first response. But we'll watch some of the video where Conor's reading off a script. It's really pathetic. And there's even a moment where someone drives by and they're honking while he's talking, like clearly trying to honk over top of him. Listen to this, because they don't like him. They don't like him at all.
Good morning, citizens of Ireland. I'm here today outside the office of the Taoiseach and Taoiseach, where we are over 200 days into the formation of current government. In these times, this government has cost us our peace of mind, our security, our hope for the future, and the general well-being of Irish citizens nationwide has decreased dramatically, whereby we have seen the homelessness of Irish children risen to levels unprecedented.
I'm sorry, guys. This is taking forever. It's got to be here soon. I didn't take down the exact timestamp. I thought I'd be able to easily find it in a 2-minute video.
And that we declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible Irish men and Irish women.
Oh my goodness. I wish they would just laid on the horn the entire time. But you get the point. The Conor McGregor rhetoric. Ireland's terrible. I don't know the exact politics of Ireland or how it's actually going or not going. I'll tell you this. I don't believe a fucking word out of Conor McGregor's mouth. I don't believe a word he says. This is a complete failure. Even if he were to get on the ballot, he would get no votes. I'm not even sure his wife would vote for him. Okay? I'm damn sure I know all of his victims wouldn't vote for him. But here he is, a couple days after saying he has secured it, to telling everyone, if you want to vote for McGregor, it starts now. Call your local councilor today and demand change. How many people do you think is actually calling anyone to get Conor McGregor nominated for president? What a complete joke, man. What a complete joke. But again, it's just Conor McGregor lies, lying about BKFC, lying about the White House, lying about the presidency. The one thing I do think is partially true, he does intend to fight in BKFC at some point in the next 2 years. Mark that down right now. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.